How y'all doing? So, the topic of discussion is things that we do not know, like our exact zodiac sun sign, perhaps. Now, if you are a viewer, you are already aware that I posted the same thumbnail on my community section. That is the beginning of this live. So if you all would share, that would be wonderful. So everyone is looking and they're seeing something. This is something that I've ran across years ago. And because a lot of readers are aware of Ophiuchus, this is not something that is new to this community. However, because people don't believe that their energy is somewhere else, they're going to say that that is not correct. However, I beg to differ. As you come in, share some love. Now, there's a very interesting viewer donation pool coming up this next week, roundabout. So, for me, the work week begins on a Sunday. Although, technically, I'm off, I'm still working behind the scenes. So, if some content comes out on a Sunday, know that it pertains to the up and coming week for this era. So if you are an individual that is in alignment with Ophiuchus, then you may be feeling currently that that is correct. Now, because I don't single out Ophiuchus when I do zodiac sun signs, some of you are not aware that your energy is in another zodiac sun sign. Now, the reason why I don't do it is because it's not common for everyone. If I were to say I'm doing an Ophiuchus reading, you would say, what is that? Or someone else would. But many are in alignment. Now you see, if you're someone that falls around a cusp date, you'll notice that your zodiac sun sign changed drastically. So that's another variable to think about, especially when we talk about multiverse. So if there's any questions that someone has, put it in the chat. Are we live? Make it interesting. Now, some may be feeling perplexed as to what they're seeing, especially if you are not someone that is into zodiac sun signs. You should be, especially in this era, because a lot of people are aware that it is spiritual. That's a spiritual variable to our existence, our zodiac sun sign. It speaks a lot about who we are energetically. Mine doesn't change that much, but some of y'all's do. Does anyone have any questions? Some may be like, why is that there? It's me. Ta-da! This is me doing magic. So, what we do not know. There's a lot. We don't know a lot. Sometimes the miraculous happens and we are shifted into a different energy, a different place. And if you've been paying attention, you see signs. You should see. Because we're not in the energy of confusion. And there goes the rabbit. Someone's chasing a rabbit. Yes, Alice in Wonderland. You know, there's different perspectives when it comes down to entertainment like that. Somebody's going to get their deck. Well, almighty you. That type of stuff I don't mind. You know what I'm talking about? I don't mind that. Because you might pull something interesting with me right here. You know what I'm talking about? The thing about spiritual tools is we don't know how to use them correctly. A lot of us. What you all will assume and understand is that some spiritual tools are good for some place and not so good for another because you don't know what is guiding you. This is why they say everyone can't do everything. It's just not, it's not for everyone. So if you run across someone that feels like you can't do something, whether or not if it's correct, it is because they either know or they're trying to play in your face. Simple as that. So, does anyone have any questions? I see 2 thumbs up. Can I get 3? 3 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up. It's up and it's up. You ever just be checking out your analytics and you notice something? Because I do. And it makes you just feel like, wow, that was wild well together. See how that just happens like that? I imagine that's how Pig Latin was created. Wow. You ever just think you know somebody's zodiac sun sign and then all of a sudden, turns out you were wrong? There is a phase where all the information presented is incorrect. Now, there's a hypothesis to that. It could be that you're viewing information for a different location. Or they were wrong, turns out. Y'all see any interesting content? Because I have. It's something about red. A certain type of red that just stands out. And you're like, I could live here. Until you jump timelines and then you're like, wait a minute. This don't look like it's conducive of my growth. I'm seeing red. That's not a good thing. Apparently not here, it's not. You see red, that means something's gonna happen. At least that's what they say. You ever just see some interesting videos? And you just wonder why it's all red like that. Did someone lash out? Perhaps? Are they giving you a visual of how they feeling? Artiste? You know what I'm saying? That's the beautiful thing about creativity. You can display it any way you choose. Some are more simple-minded than others. Yeah, we do want things that are thought-provoking. You know how you just don't get something when you're sitting in one place and then you drive 10 blocks down and all of a sudden you realize it. It just takes you moving 10 blocks down for somebody. What y'all doing? I'm feeling a little hungry. I don't know about y'all. You ever just realize you're not vegetarian anymore? Because I have. All of a sudden. I was just like, you know what? The gases in my stomach is not conducive to my growth. Turns out. You ever just be doing an intermittent fast for like 3 weeks straight? You don't lose no weight. And you're just like, maybe it's water retention. Because all of a sudden, the next morning, you've gained 20 pounds. Drinking all that water. And it's retaining. See how that works? You ever just be on one and you realize you lost 30 pounds in a week? And everybody just think you using a pen or something like that? And you just go along with it because, hey, it's none of their business. Until you start doing the books. And all of a sudden something is wrong and it just creates a turd avalanche. You ever been at the bottom of a turd avalanche? I imagine it stinks. So now that we all realize they are way over there and we are way over here at the top, we understand why they sound so far away. You know what I'm talking about? Why? You know, the beautiful thing about getting older is a lot of times it takes a long time for our facial features to catch up with our age. You know, there's speculation behind that. But it's all almighty given. Sometimes we want you to look younger, 30 years. Because somebody felt like they were going to take 30 of them darndest years from you. You know? You ever just see someone fresh out and you're like, wow, they didn't age. Could it be the food? I don't know. Maybe it's almighty. He wants you to look better than you looked before you went in. You see how that works? Some people's joy you just can't snatch. No, I'm talking about. They're well versed at protecting it for various reasons. There could be speculation behind what you don't know. But I beg to differ. You know, let me clear my throat like she did just about an hour ago. You know what I'm talking about? You ever just feel like somebody's overdoing something to keep you? Because I have. You just wonder why they doing so much. It's almost like you haven't had that done before, you know what I'm saying? They feel like it's new, all new everything, apparently. Maybe the first time. When you get to around 10 times, you become a pro at the experience, you know what I'm saying? Gargle, gargle. You ever just been pushed away after you have an intimate moment? That's gotta suck. I haven't. But you have. About 3 hours ago. Three thumbs up. Can I get three thumbs up? Three thumbs up in this up in this stuff. You ever just hear someone say, she auctioning off that cat? Because I have. And it's not me. Because apparently, my bonnet is not attractive. And I don't care. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about. You see how that sound? You see? You see how that sound? That's what I'm talking about. That's how we do it in the Bay, usually. Sometimes. See how, all bass, no rattle? It sounds good on the inside and the outside, apparently. That matters. You ever see someone with speakers on the outside of their ride? That is something interesting to see. You ever been zapped? Because I haven't, but I imagine it hurts. That's how we do it in the Bay. You know what I'm talking about? Wow. You ever just been at the corner store and you see someone sitting on the ground and you wonder who did that to you? Because you don't look like you should be sitting on the ground, but you just like, okay, two pigs in a bucket. You know what I'm talking about? Yada. I'm going through some things. I've been going through some things. You know what I'm talking about? That's real spill. Because if you just say, you know what? I need to take a moment. Let me just sit here. And everybody like, why are you sitting on the ground? Because he's going through some things. Just leave him alone. I didn't. I said, why? Get up. You all right? That was me. You know what I'm talking about? Yada. You ever just realized you've encountered all the wrong females? Not women. You've just chose all the wrong females. Not women. You ever just been laying in your bed and all the lights is off? And you glance in the corner and you think somebody's standing there and it's a wig on the head? That's scary. Because I have. Just be like, wait a minute. Who sent you? Open up the closet and there is a headstand. It's time for a change. So I'm going through some things. I remember I took a picture inside of the beauty supply that I worked at. And I had just finished facing, those of you that are into retail, because your energy came up in my read. I just finished facing everything, making everything beautiful. You take a picture and then you realize there's a whole bunch of energy staring at you. You're like, wait a minute. This looks strange and unusual. Everything that is presented in a beauty supply, at some point, someone attempted to put it on their head. You ever seen someone go in and say, I'm just going to take the display? Can I get 20% off? Because I have. And I'm just sitting there saying, if you knew how much dust I just dusted off of that, you wouldn't want that one. But apparently, the ethic looks real when it sits. You know what I'm talking about? That's a sign. You'd ever just avoid everything between the hours of 7 and 7? You just avoid all calls between the hours of 7 and 7 because you don't know if they're local or not. That's smart because they could be on a different time zone. You know what I'm talking about? Then you realize you avoided something important. And then you're like, oh, wow. I didn't mean to do that. It'll be 3 months before I get another appointment. Wow. Because he just did. You ever just been recording a screen and all your information pop up in the notification? Because I haven't. Oops. When they DOX themselves, that's gotta hurt. No, why? You ever just wonder if somebody could cook? Because from what I know, but this could just be Bay Area bound, you know. All the Virgos I ran into could cook. No, why? Right now I'm thinking about fried chicken, mashed potatoes and gravy, a little bit of corn on the cob, minus the slop, you know what I'm talking about? Some lemonade, preferably some strawberry. That's how I'm feeling right now. I don't know about y'all, but that's what I want. Now if I'm gonna get it, that's for question. Let's talk about it. What you don't know. Apparently, someone's zodiac a sun sign. You ever just think somebody's a Leo, but they're a Virgo? Or maybe Aries, perhaps? And you say, you don't give off Virgo signs. All the while, you never even knew about a zodiac sun sign until you encountered me. Go figure. See how they be thinking it's so easy, and it's not? Like their life? They don't know it. Because they've been bailed out every time. You know what I'm talking about? You know that saying, you don't miss your water till your well runs dry. I am fully aware of that. The Almighty knows that. Mine's HIT different though. You know, when you get up there in age, you start realizing people not gonna be in their body forever. So what do? Do you settle? You shouldn't, because I don't. There's a saying, you come in this world by yourself, and you leave by yourself. There's some truth to that. There's variables though. You were too young and fresh out the womb to understand that at the exact same time you were birthed, half of the NICU or the nursery was as well. So that kind of like changes things, you know what I'm talking about? If you were to encounter someone that was born at the same time as you, whether or not if it's in the same location, you would say, did you try to do a destiny swap on me? If you want a mind. Because see, we're logical thinkers. It's more than just haphazardly. It's the universe conspiring with me to figure out what you got going on. Know what I'm talking about? Yeah. When somebody from the hood asks you what your zodiac sun sign is, they up to something. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's just not how you start off a conversation. Apparently, there was a song. I'm Larry. Remember that? I think I'm gonna share that. Because y'all need to know good music. You ever just meet anybody named Larry? Because I have. It's about 2046. Thinking now, if I ever encountered either, I'm gonna marry her, male and female. You know what I'm about? See how popular I am? It's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's that yin yang. You know what I'm talking about? In the house. Yin yang in this thing. Yin yang in this thing. You know what I'm talking about? You ever see somebody get pushed out the way? When that song come on, that was me. I'm gonna push you out the way. You gonna get mushed when that song come on. It's just some music do that to you. Yeah. You gonna step on some toes. Don't fall. Because if you fall, you might not get back up. Because apparently, that song was popular in the town when I was clubbing. Everybody, and I do mean everybody from the hood, was on the floor. And all of a sudden, and all the little wallflowers and with their makeup and weaves, and they don't want to look like a hot mess when the lights come on. You know what I'm talking about? They was just sitting there looking. Not me. That was not me. I've never been accused of being a wallflower. Especially when yin yang in this thing. Come on. It was like, what? I'm alive. I'm alive. Almighty. Thank you. It's been a minute since I've been clubbing. I believe the last time I went to the club was on my solar return. I had a nice time. Oh, it's about that time. You know, they gotta come to the door. When they gotta come to the door, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? People have bad days when you don't follow instructions. You know? Do what you're supposed to do in a timely manner and everybody be copacetic. You know anything about being copacetic? Because he do. I took a look at all the readings that I'm going to present throughout the course of these next weeks. And I said, this is interesting. So, for my members, if you happen to see this, when you happen to see this, understand that your viewpoint is different if you know that that is not your energy present on the table. Some of you, you've been with me for a long time, so you are aware of the semantics. some of you, your life is copacetic right now. So you feel you don't need an energy pool. But what the future may bring is a disruption. You know what I'm talking about? Why? Let me clear my throat. Gurgle. You ever just met someone that feels like all they have to offer is head? Because I have. And you too, apparently. You ever see? Have you ever seen someone that is irritated by somebody already and they just showed up? Because I have. You don't understand the meaning of overdoing something in your 20s and possibly your 30s, but when you get up there, like 50, 40, you start noticing something. Like her eyelashes. And you say, I wonder what she looks like with all that stuff off. It's like trying to catch a rabbit to figure it out. You ever just had someone open the door because they want to see what you look like without all the costume on? Just randomly open the door. Because apparently, word around Mons is he feels like you need to be seen without no makeup on, but you think it's me. No, I'm talking about 27 piece. That's what I'm gonna call her. 27 piece. 27 pieces on her eyelashes. You ever just believe that the Almighty made you perfect the way you are, even if you don't have any? It's for a reason. You ever just get an eyelash stuck in your eye with adhesive on it? That hurts. Better yet, I can recall a time when I went and got mines individually done. But that was my era. We would go and get them professionally did with the individuals, not the strip. I may have talked about this. I'm sitting there and I'm skeptical because I was used to getting them done in the scope. You know what I'm saying? But turns out I went somewhere where they just started the service instantly. I just happened to be there first day. Then you notice that they're using weave adhesive for your eyelash extensions. And you say, wow, that's gonna last a lifetime. I was sitting there, I had the works. The works for my era is nails done, feet done, eyelashes, possibly eyebrows. You know what I'm talking about? You just in there getting made over. I want to be made over. So I'm like, okay. Feels like everything is all right. When I look inside, everything is all right. So it's time to go. I gave a little piece of tip, and if I remember correctly, when I walked out. Yeah. And then some say, look in the mirror when I got in the car. So I looked in the mirror and I said, what the Let me tell y'all, man. Is it Betty Gabriel? You know, no, I ain't got you. I said, what? It was all wrong. It was just wrong. I looked, I said, well, maybe when I get to the house and look in the bigger mirror, because this perspective is not conducive of me feeling beautiful. It definitely wasn't. It was just, you had to take a double take. You know? What? What is going on? I never went back. Matter of fact, I believe that was the last time I got them done because as the days progressed, my eyes start pussing. I woke up the next day and they was leaning to the side, stuck. And I said, ugh. It was all cruddy and stuff. Instantly, I'm like, how am I get all this stuff off my eyes? You know, because it's a hazard at this point. This don't look as heavy. I'm laughing because I put myself there. You know, my reaction to what I went through, the experience. I haven't been back since. Now, I dabbled in, you know, the magnetic ones. I'm putting y'all up on game now. They got the magnetic ones. So I'm gonna share my thoughts. I ordered me, you know, the set. I'm like, this might work right here. This might work. Even though I don't plan on going anywhere per se, but it might, you know, this could be something that I use in the future, even if I have to throw this set away, because I still got it. It's been like 3 years. Bought 2 sets. It's the first one I was like, okay. You know, after a while, the glue, you know, and I don't know about mixing brands. After a while, the glue start doing something, the adhesive. Those that already wear magnetic lashes, things you notice when you put on that adhesive that is magnetic, it's like the whole middle part in your nostril hair. Just be like wide open, like her legs. You know what I'm talking about? You be like, is my lip pulling? Is these lashes pulling my lip up? Because that's what I was like, wait a minute. What is that? What is that feeling? It's true, if I were to do a review, y'all would get an interesting perspective. That's why I don't do them. I ain't gonna make no coins. That's why I don't do them. So for those that are bold, try use some magnetic lashes. But beware, that adhesive, you know, depending on what you got going on in your face, you might be attracting glitter or something, boogers. The seconds that I still have, they put away. Because I don't imagine I'm going to use them ever, but you don't want to throw away something that's brand new, like her life. Somebody somewhere is having a bright idea, and I'm saying don't do that. Just don't put bonding glue on a strip. Don't do that. Strip. Things you don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm filling you in right now. Does anyone have any questions? That is it.